Okay, good day students. So this time I will be discussing to you the last topic of our subject, which is all about chemical bonding. So this is just a very short discussion because we will talk more about this topic during the first week of your um, class during the second semester in our organic chemistry na subject. Okay? So we will talk about types of bonds and polarity of molecules. So before we dig deeper with our discussion, let's have first our lesson objectives. First is we have to differentiate the formation of ionic and covalent bonds. Second is to classify molecules as polar or nonpolar. Third is to differentiate an organic compounds and inorganic compounds. Okay? So basically, we have two types of chemical bonds. We have the ionic bond and the covalent bond. So let's talk first about the ionic bond. Okay, so ionic bond, it is a type of chemical bond where two atoms or molecules are connected to each other by electrostatic attraction. Okay, so yung force na naggunit sa duha ka atom in an ionic bond is what we call the electrostatic attraction. So ionic bonds form when a non-metal and a metal exchange electrons. For example, is yung sodium chloride, yung I know you already have an idea for this one. Sodium chloride is an ionic compound. It's because it has a metal, which is the sodium, and a non-metal, which is the chlorine. Okay, so what happens during chemical bonding? Okay, so chemical bonding, by the way, occurs either by sharing electrons or by donating and accepting electrons. So in ionic bonding, it's all about donating and accepting electrons. If you can still remember our discussion about valence electrons, okay, the valence electrons of an atom are those electrons in the outermost shell of an atom. Okay, so valence electrons also are the ones that are responsible for the formation of bonding. Okay, so in this case, um, in ionic bonding, okay, the valence electrons of an atom can be gained or it can be donated to other atoms. Okay, so in the case of sodium chloride, okay, as you can see, sodium has a valence electrons of 1, okay, represented by these yellow dots here, okay, and then chlorine has a valence electrons of 7 because if you can still remember our topic on periodic table, okay, group 1 ng mga elements have a valence electrons of 1, okay, in which diha na belong si sodium. Group 2 ng elements have a valence electrons of 2, and then yung group 3A to 7A, okay, yung group 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, okay, kung sa ilahang group, mapunto ang number of valence electrons nga nasa. For example, si chlorine belongs under group 7A in the periodic table. So that is why it has 7 valence electrons. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay? So usually in ionic bonding, sa metal ang always ga-donate ng electrons. Okay? And then si non-metal, siya ang ga-accept or ga-receive ng electrons. Okay? Why do atoms need to bond with other atoms? Okay? They need to bond again because they have to satisfy the octet rule. Okay? When we say octet rule, atoms should have 8 valence electrons in their outermost shell. Okay? So, nahitabo kang sodium o kang chlorine here in the formation of sodium chloride or yung salt, yung asin nga itong ginagamit sa kusina. Okay? Si sodium, it donates its 1 valence electrons to the chlorine here. Okay? So kung gidonate na niya yung isa ka electrons, so its outermost shell will no longer have valence electrons. So the next shell will be the outermost shell na dion. Okay? And these electrons here in the second shell will become the valence electrons of sodium. As you can see here, pag nawala na yung isa ka electrons, the next level have 8 valence electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. This now becomes, si sodium now becomes a sodium ion, and then it is now stable because it has kini ang 8 valence electrons. Now chlorine here, since it has 7 valence electrons in its outermost shell, after it received kini ang 8 valence I'm sorry, after it received 1 valence electron from sodium, it now has 8 total of 8 valence electrons. Okay? So, stable na siya but it becomes an ion. So again, si sodium here now, what we have, sodium here now has 8 valence electrons, and si chlorine now has 8 valence electrons. Okay? So, both of them have already satisfied the octet rule, in which they need to have 8 valence electrons in their outermost shell. Okay? So, again, as what I have said kanina, yung force that attracts or holds together two atoms in ionic bond is what we call the electrostatic attraction. Okay, as you can see here, sodium has a positive 1 nga net charge, and then chlorine here has a negative 1 nga net charge. These kini ang charges, okay, opposite charges, mo ni ang ga-attract sa duha ka atom to form an ionic bond. Okay? If you can still remember in your physics, okay, like charges repel each other. Okay? So in physics, di ba, kung the same ang charge, okay, pag the same ang charge sa duha, okay, they will repel each other or they will push each other away. However, if different yung charge, okay, they will attract each other or they will pull each other towards itself. So, one inahitabo din hiya, si sodium is attracted by the negative charge of chlorine. At the same time, chlorine here is attracted by the positive charge of sodium. So again, in ionic bonding, the force that holds together the two atoms is what we call the electrostatic attraction. So in ionic bonding, there is electron donation at saka yung electron kini ang pag-receive ng electron. Okay? Electron is okay, either donated, all right, or received. Okay? Usually, ang mag-donate ng electrons is si metal. And then, yung mag-receive ng electrons is si non-metal. Okay? So, that is for ionic bonding. Now, let's proceed with the second type of chemical bond, what we call the covalent bond. Okay? So, it's a type of chemical bond where two atoms are connected to each other by sharing of two or more electrons. Kagaina in the ionic bond, na ay pag-donate, na apoy mag-receive ng electrons. But here, walay mo donate, walay mo receive ng electrons, both of them will share electrons. Okay? So, covalent bonds form when electrons are shared between two non-metals. Okay? So, covalent bonding, pag ang isa ka compound or isa ka molecule is ang iyahang mga elements nga nag-compose sa iyaha are all non-metals, walay metals. Okay, for example, here is carbon dioxide. Si carbon is non-metal, si oxygen is also non-metal. Okay? So here is what happens during Okay, so what happens during covalent bonding? Again, um, both of the atoms that are um, in a covalent bond, they share electrons to one another. Okay, here oxygen. Okay, oxygen has belongs to group 6A, so that means it has six valence electrons. One, two, three, four, five, and six. So represented by these red dots here. And then carbon has four valence electrons represented by these green dots here. Okay? So in order for these atoms to satisfy the octet rule, para magkaroon sila ng 8 valence electrons, they need to share electrons with other atoms. At the same time, kung itong atoms nga ilahang share ng electrons, dapat mag-share po ng electrons sa ilaha. Okay? So in this case, si oxygen nag-share, this one here, si oxygen 1, because in carbon dioxide, naatay duha ka oxygen, and then isa ka, kini ang, isa ka, what we call this one, isa ka carbon atom. Okay? So si carbon 1, I'm sorry, si oxygen 1 shares two electrons to carbon. This one, kini o kini. At the same time, si carbon pod, nag-share pod siya og duha pod ka electrons to oxygen 1. The same happens to oxygen 2. Si oxygen 2 also shares two electrons to carbon, and then si carbon naman shares also two electrons to oxygen 2. Okay? So, by sharing electrons, they satisfy the octet rule. Nga naman, because, for example here, because si oxygen 1 naigi-share sa iyang duha ka electrons si carbon, ang iyang valence electrons now is walo na pod kabuok because we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then kining duha ka green nga gikan kang duha ka green nga gikan kang carbon, it will make 8 na dayon. 8 ka valence electrons ang nasa iya because it was being shared by carbon. This one, this one, this one, and this one. The same here happens with oxygen 2. Si oxygen 2, na siya upat din hiya, duha, gikan kang carbon, and then unom nga gikan sa iya. So we have here 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And at the same time, si carbon pod, naana po'y 8 ka valence electrons. Okay? Si oxygen 1 here na ay 8 ka valence electrons. Si oxygen 2 na po 8 ka valence electrons. And si carbon now has 8 valence electrons. Ang upat, ang duha, gikan kang oxygen 1, and then ang duha, gikan kang oxygen 2, nga gi-share sa iyaha. Okay? So that's what happens during covalent bonding. Again, main difference ni ionic bonding at saka ni covalent bonding, in ionic bonding, there is donation at saka na po'y mag-receive ng electrons. Okay? So, in covalent bonding, on the other hand, walay donation, walay i-donate, walay i-receive. There is only sharing of electrons. And also, ionic bonding happens between a metal at saka a non-metal. Covalent bonding, on the other hand, happens between two non-metals. Okay, so that's the main difference ng two types, major types ng chemical bonding. Okay, so we have here the periodic table for so again we have here the periodic table of elements with the Lewis dot structure of each element. Okay, so as you can see here, each dot is represented by the valence electrons present in these elements. For example, here in group 1A, ayan, yung group 1A ng mga elements, they have one dot because they have one valence electrons in their outermost shell. Group 2A have duha ka dots because they have two valence electrons. And here, group 3A, tulo, group 4A, upat, group 5A, lima, group 6A, 6A, unom, group 7A, pito, and then group 8, with the exception of helium, tinagwalo ka valence electrons. Okay? So, um, kining wala naka-pair, for example, this one, nitrogen has 5 valence electrons. Okay? Kining naka-pair nga mga electrons, kining mga lone pair nga mga electrons, they cannot be readily shared or donated to other elements. Okay? Ang pwede ma-share or ma-donate is katong walay pair nga dots. Okay, for example, this one, at saka this one. Katong naanay pair nga dots, here, for example, here sa kang oxygen, na ay duha ka uh, lone pair nga electrons. So, these two lone pair electrons cannot be shared to other atoms. Katong walay pair nga electrons, kato lang ang pwede nga ma-share. Okay? So, si fluorine can only share one electrons and it can also accept one electrons also. Si oxygen, it can share two electrons and it can also accept two electrons if ever it is going to have an ionic bond with a metal. Okay? So, for example here, we have, we have the formation of water. Water is H2O, right? Water is H2O. So, oxygen, on the other hand, we have here oxygen. Okay, so that is oxygen. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. Okay, duha ka lone pair o duha ka electrons that can readily be shared or kini ang unsa na can readily be shared or um, accepted. Pwede po siya mag-accept ng dalawang electrons. And then, si hydrogen naman, on the other hand, okay, has 1 valence electrons. Okay? Has 1 valence electrons. So, during the formation of water, okay, yung electrons ni hydrogen at saka yung electrons here ni ni oxygen will be shared by each other. Okay? So this one, let me rewrite na lang this para di talibog. Okay? So in this case, si hydrogen mag-share og isa ka electron kang oxygen. Okay? And then si oxygen pod mag-share og duha ka electron kang isa ka electron sa kada hydrogen nga atom. Okay? So, it's black. Let me change that one. Okay? So, in this case, by the way, there is kini ang exemption in the octet rule. Ang exempted sa octet rule is si hydrogen at saka si helium nga gas. Because in order for them to be stable, it needs only 2 valence electrons in its shell. Okay? So si hydrogen here na siya duha ka valence electrons, kining hydrogen pod na duha ka valence electrons. And si oxygen on the other hand also has 8 valence electrons. So si oxygen here becomes stable, sa hydrogen pod becomes stable because naa siya duha ka valence electrons which is stable siya ana because again exemption siya sa octet rule together with helium. Okay? And then si oxygen has 8 valence electrons kay naa siya daan unom ka valence electrons. And then naigi-share sa iya nga tinag-isa ka electrons ang duha ka hydrogen, so in total na siya 8 ka valence electrons. Okay? So the same happens with for example hydrogen fluoride. Okay? Hydrogen fluoride. Okay? So si fluorine has 7 valence electrons. Okay? Ayan. So si fluorine has 7 valence electrons. Duha o tuluan na is naano siya sa lone pair. So isa lang ang pwede niya ma-share with other atoms. Okay? So hydrogen here will share electrons with, kasi hydrogen isa lang ka-electrons ang nasa iya. Okay? So si hydrogen here becomes, okay, stable, and at the same time si fluorine also becomes stable kay nana siya ay 8 ka-valence electrons. And then si hydrogen here na ay 2 ka-valence electrons. Okay? Okay? So that's what happens during covalent bonding. Right? So there are number of bonds nga pwede ma-create during covalent bonding. Okay? Nakadepende kung pila ang electrons nga pwede i-share sa isa ka atom with other atoms. Okay? So a given non-metal atom can form a single, double, or triple bond with another non-metal. Which type of bond is formed between the atoms depends on their numbers of valence electrons. For example here, in the case of hydrogen nga gas, okay, hydrogen nga gas is a diatomic na molecule, okay? So single bond ang nasa ila. Usually single bonds are long bonds, longer bonds, but they are weak, okay? Weak siya nga bond compared sa double at saka sa triple bond. Okay? Si double bond at saka si triple bond, they are shorter nga bond, but they are strong bond. Okay? Strong sila in a sense that they have double bonds at saka triple bonds. Just like, for example, mas lig-on ang duha ka pisi or tulo ka pisi compared sa isa lang ka pisi. Okay? Again, the type of bonds nga ma-create is nakadepende siya sa number of valence electrons nga pwede i-share sa isa ka atom with another atom. Okay? So, the covalent bonding, we have two types of covalent bond, either non-polar or what we call the pure covalent bonding, at saka yung polar covalent bonding. Okay? Paminawan na lang ang sounds ha, o naayon yung madungog. Okay? So, sa kalahian sa polar at saka non-polar nga covalent bonding. So, pure covalent or non-polar, okay? Non-polar ang kini ang bonding, covalent bonding, if the atoms that form a covalent bond are identical as in yung hydrogen na gas at saka yung chlorine na gas. Okay? Identical meaning the same nga atom ang nag-share, the same type of atom nag-share ng electrons with one another. Okay? So, pure covalent bond, the electrons in this bond must be shared equally. Okay? This pertains to the electronegativity of an atom. Mamaya, we will talk about electronegativity. Okay? So, electrons shared in pure covalent bonds have an equal probability of being near each nucleus. Okay? So, ito na balikan niya if we are going to talk about electronegativity ng isang atom. Okay? Polar covalent naman, ang bond nga nasa molecule if the two atoms linked by a covalent bond are different. For example, hydrogen and oxygen in water. So water is a polar na molecule because it has a polar covalent bond. Because yung atoms nga nag bond with one another are different types of atoms. Lahi si oxygen, lahi po si hydrogen nga atom. Okay? So two elements bond with a moderate difference in electronegativity but does not surpass 1.8 electronegativity difference. Okay, so we will talk again in the next slide about electronegativity difference because if mag-surpass na into 1.8 ang ilang electronegativity difference, that is already ionic bond. Okay, so the bonding electrons are shared but no longer equally shared. So yung electrons nga gina-share sa duha ka atoms in a polar covalent bond, okay, some of the electrons is closer sa nucleus sa isa ka atom, and then some of the nucleus is some of the electrons is far from the nucleus of the atom. So the bonding electrons are more attracted to one atom than the other, giving rise to a shift of electron density toward that atom. Okay? So, kagayin na sige tagisgot about electronegativity. So, din ang electronegativity of an atom. Okay? So, it is a measure, electronegativity is a measure of the tendency of an atom to attract electrons towards itself. So it determines how the shared electrons are distributed between the two atoms in a bond. So in simple terms, electronegativity of an atom, ito yung somehow yung strength ng isang atom to pull or para mubira og electrons padulong duol sa iyang nucleus or duol sa iyang center. Okay? So again, the electronegativity of an atom is somehow the strength of an atom to pull electrons towards itself. Okay? Para mapaduol sa iyang electrons. Okay? So we have here electronegativity values ng ating mga elements ato ang periodic table. Okay? As you can see, from bottom to top, okay, from bottom to top ng ating periodic table, ga-increase ang electronegativity values. For example, the electronegativity values ni hydrogen is 2.20. And then, ang electronegativity value ni francium is only 0.7. Si cesium, 0.79. Rubidium, 0.82. Potassium, 0.82. Sodium, 0.93. Lithium, 0.98. So, as you can see, from bottom to top of our periodic table, ga-increase ang value ng electronegativity of each atom. And from left to right naman, okay, ga-increase pod ang electronegativity ng mga atoms. For example here, lithium, okay, from the left is 0.98, followed by beryllium is 1.57, boron 2.04, carbon to 2.55, nitrogen 3.04, oxygen 3.44, fluorine 3.98. So from left to right, ga-increase ang electronegativity value ng ating mga elements in the periodic table. And also from bottom to top, ga-increase po ang electronegativity values ng ating mga elements in the periodic table. So, depende sa electronegativity values or electronegativity difference ng dalawang atom para ma-identify nato if that type of bonding is polar or non-polar covalent bonding. So, how do we determine that one? Okay? So, if the electronegativity difference ng dalawang atom is less than 0.4, okay? If the electronegativity difference ng dalawang atom that has bonded with a covalent bond is 0.4, tawagon nato siya ang pure covalent or non-polar covalent nga bond. Okay? So that molecule will be called as a non-polar nga molecule. Okay? However, if ang iyahang kini ang electronegativity difference is between 0.4 and 1.8, that will be considered as a polar nga molecule kay naa siya polar covalent nga bond. More than greater than 1.8, it is considered already as ionic na siya nga bond. Okay? Let's say for example, kini ang electronegativity difference ni hydrogen nga gas. Di ba? Hydrogen nga gas is composed of duha ka hydrogen nga atom. Okay? So if we're going to look at the electronegativity ni hydrogen here, electronegativity value is 2.20. Okay? So if we're going to subtract that one, because electronegativity difference, meaning ato ang isubtract ang ilahang electronegativity values. So, in 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 hydrogen nga gas, okay, duha ka hydrogen, each of them has a 2.20 nga electronegativity values. Okay? So, isubtract nato sila, it will result into 0. So, that is why si hydrogen nga gas is a non-polar nga molecule because it has a non-polar covalent bond or a pure covalent bond. Kaya ang iyahang electronegativity difference is less than 0.4. Okay? Mas dako man si 0.4 kaysa kang 0. So that therefore, hydrogen gas is a non-polar nga molecule. On the other hand, si water, okay? Water is H2O. Okay? So duha ka type of atom in water. We have oxygen and we also have hydrogen. Okay? So again, the electronegativity ni value ni hydrogen is 2.20, and then for oxygen naman, we have here 3.44. Okay? So we have here 3.44. Okay? Okay? So kung ato sa i-minus, 4 minus 0, we have 4. Okay? 4 minus 0. Uh, 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 3 minus 1 is 1.24. So its electronegativity difference is 1.24, which is in between kang 0.4 o kang 1.8. That is why si water is a polar na molecule. Polar. And then si hydrogen gas naman is non-polar. Okay? Non-polar. Yeah. So that's how you determine if a molecule is non-polar or polar nga molecule. Kaya nakadepende siya if ang ilang electronegativity difference is below 0.4 ba or in between 0.4 and 1.8. Okay? So another example is carbon dioxide. Okay? CO2. Okay? So naatay duha ka type of atoms in carbon dioxide, naatay carbon, okay, at saka oxygen. Okay? So again, si oxygen, we have, pila si oxygen? 3.44, and then si carbon, okay, check first. Si carbon has 2.55. Okay. 3.44 and then 2.55. So we have here 2.55. Oxygen has 3.44. Carbon has 2.55. Okay, so i-minus natin siya. 4 minus 5. 14 minus 5, that will be 9. 13. 13 minus 5, that will be 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay. So yun naman na siya. Okay, 13. 13, this will become 14. 14, 13 minus 5, that's 8. And then this one is 2 na siya. Okay, so minus that. So 0.89. Okay, so the electronegativity difference ni oxygen at saka ni carbon is 0.89, which is between 0.4 and 1.8. Therefore, si carbon dioxide, okay, is also polar. Okay, polar siya because yung bond niya is polar covalent bond. Okay, so again, that's how you determine if a molecule is a polar or non-polar nga molecule by determining their electronegativity difference. Okay? So, another term that you need to know regarding chemical bonding is all about electron affinity. Okay, ano ba yung electron affinity? Iba yung electron affinity with electron negativity. Okay? So, electron affinity of an element is the amount of energy gained or released with the addition of an electron. Okay? So if, for example, during the formation of sodium chloride, okay, so naay mag-gain o naapoy ma-release nga energy, because whenever an electron is transferred from one atom to another atom, there is a release of energy that will happen. Okay? So we call that release of energy or yung mag-gain nga energy during sa pag add ng electron or pag kini ang pagpasa ng electron from one atom to another atom, we call that one as electron affinity. Okay? The same with electronegativity from bottom to top of the periodic table, okay? Ga-increase yung electron affinity ng mga elements. And then from left to right, ga-increase also ang kini ang electron affinity ng mga elements. And then another term is what we call the ionization energy. Okay? So, ionization energy is the energy nga gi-require para maka-remove or makatanggal ang isa ka atom o electron from another atom. Okay? So, ionization energy is the amount of energy required to remove an electron from an atom. Okay? The unit for this one is what we call the electron volts. Okay? Or the ionization energy, the unit again is electron volts. So again, ionization energy, ito yung energy ng require or needed para maka-remove ng electron from one atom and then ipasa to another atom. And the same with kini ang the electron affinity at saka yung electron negativity. From bottom to top, ga-increase yung ionization energy ng mga elements. At the same time, from left to right, ga-increase po ang ionization ng mga elements. Okay? So again, we can identify if those compounds are ionic if they have kini ang what we call metal. Okay? If present ang metal in a compound or in a molecule, that compound is considered already as ionic compound. For example here, sodium chloride, potassium bromide, calcium iodide, cesium fluoride, lithium chloride. Okay, yung first nga mga elements, they are metals. And therefore, ionic bond ang gagunit sa ilaha. That is why they are called ionic compounds. Okay, on the other hand, ang mga covalent bonds are both of the kini ang elements present are mga non-metals. For example, oxygen nga gas, duha ka oxygen, methane, carbon is non-metal, hydrogen is also non-metal. Okay? So, what makes a molecule a compound, an organic or inorganic na compound? Okay? So, ang mga molecule nga naay carbon o hydrogen nga bond, they are considered as organic nga compounds. Again, ha? Lahat ng molecules na mayroong carbon and hydrogen bond, okay? Yung carbon at saka yung hydrogen atom nag-bond with each other, considered na siya nga organic compound. However, those molecules or compounds nga walay carbon at saka hydrogen nga bond, they are considered as inorganic na compounds. For example, carbon dioxide, okay? So, carbon dioxide, ang present lang element na ay bond is si carbon o si oxygen. Wala yung hydrogen, okay? So, carbon dioxide is not organic, so it is considered as inorganic nga compound. Okay? So, that's it. Okay? By the way, before we end this kini ang discussion, let me introduce to you first yung intermolecular attraction or intermolecular forces. Okay? Remember that water is a polar covalent nga kini ang molecule. Okay? So let's say for example, oxygen, we have oxygen here. Okay? So si oxygen naa siya'y okay, 6 covalent electrons. Okay, dito lang tayo. Circle, circle. Okay. So let me draw na lang the lowest structure ng oxygen. So oxygen has 8 valence electrons, duha ka lone pair, and then duha pod ka single pair. And then it bonds with the electrons ni hydrogen. Okay, for example, hydrogen here. Okay, yellow. Okay, green na lang, green. Okay. Okay. So this now is a water molecule nga yung oxygen at yung hydrogen shared their electrons. As you can see, okay, again, um, oxygen here has 3.44 ang iyahang electronegativity value. So we have here 3.44 ang iyang electronegativity value. And then hydrogen only has 2 point, I guess it's 2.20. Okay, ang iyang electronegativity values. Okay, so again, the electronegativity value of an atom is somehow, it talks us about the strength of an atom to pull electrons towards itself. Okay, tungod kay mas dako og electronegativity value si oxygen here, mas kusog ang iyang bira sa electrons compared ni hydrogen, because hydrogen has a lower electronegativity, therefore ubos ang iyahang or dili kayo kusog ang iyahang pagbira sa electrons. That is why yung electrons nga gina-share ni hydrogen o ni oxygen is mas duol sa nucleus ni oxygen kaysa sa nucleus ni or sa center ni hydrogen. It's because again kusog og bira si kini oxygen sa electrons compared kang hydrogen. Okay? This becomes hydrogen as a partially positive na part. Okay? So, tungod kay layo sa iyang electrons, okay? Si hydrogen here sa water becomes partially positive ang iyang charge. Kay layo kayo ang iyang electrons and ang iyang proton is nasa center niya. Okay? So kining duha ka hydrogen has a partially positive na charge. And then si oxygen naman, since nagtapok sa ihatanan, duol sa ihatanan ang mga electrons, okay? Oxygen becomes partially negative ang iyang charge. Okay? That is why water, unlike gases, yung water na molecule water na liquid, unlike gases, yung water molecules are attracted to another water molecules because of this partial charge nga naa sa ilaha. For example, here, let's say for example, we have another molecule of water. Okay, we have here another oxygen here. Okay. And then we have here lone pair. Okay. And then we have hydrogen. Okay. Okay. So again, this hydrogen here is partially positive. Okay, partially positive. And this one here is partially negative. Okay, partially negative si oxygen because again, nagtapok doon sa nucleus ang mga electrons. Okay? partially negative. So since oxygen here is partially negative, and then yung hydrogen in the other water molecule is partially negative, they are being attracted to one another. Okay? So this partial charges between two molecules of water, two ends ng water, we have the partially negative end ni water near the oxygen and partially positive end ni water near the hydrogen end ng ating water molecule. So, this partial negative at saka partial positive makes an attraction. We call this one as the intermolecular attraction. Molecular attraction. Okay? That is why yung mga water molecules in liquid, okay, um, they are nagkumpul-kumpul sila unlike sa gases, di ba? Gases are not attracted by one another as what we have discussed in the kinetic molecular theory of gases. Gases does not have an attraction at saka yung repulsion na force towards another. Okay? However, um, in water molecule, liquid na water, okay, there is attraction between sa partial negative na oxygen sa isa ka water molecule and the partial positive na hydrogen sa isa ka water molecule. So this partial negative and partial positive is what holds together water molecules mao nang magkumpul-kumpul siya. And again, we call this kini ang attraction as the intermolecular attraction. Okay? Because of the dipole kini ang nature of water. When say dipole, may duha ka pole, may positive na pole and negative na pole. Yung positive na pole is yung hydrogen na part, and then yung negative na pole ni water is yung oxygen na part. Okay? So that's it for chemical bonding. We will talk more about this one in your organic chemistry nga topic because napagini siya mas lalumpang explanation before we talk about organic na mga compounds. Okay? So that's it for this video. This is the last topic for our subject, and this will be included in your final exam this coming Tuesday. Goodbye and thank you.